So our next comedian, I always have to say this before, his name is Socrates. You already got a laugh because I laughed at your name. So that might, make you expect something like wisdom. Don't, is all I'm saying. But he is a lovely guy, so give him a very, very warm welcome, Socrates!
Hello everybody! How y'all doing tonight?
Hey!
Yeah, it sounds encouraging, thank you so much. And this is a bit of a participation sport, you know what I mean? Stand-up comedy is a little bit like sex. It's best if you're like, a willing participant. I mean, we'll do comedy rape if we need to, but yeah, that was an old joke. You were so quiet, I thought I'd see if I could remember a joke that I hadn't thought of in a long time. That's not either. So, my name is Socrates, and if you're thinking, hey, I've heard of this guy, yeah, you're probably thinking of another dude. He's a whole lot more famous than me, but so far, he's a whole lot more dead. Fingers crossed. Now, of course, if you're a huge YouTube fan, maybe you've come across my videos, Socrates Explains Everything. I named it that because, well, my name is Socrates. And I like to explain things. It makes sense, right? Yeah, not too many people have seen the videos either, but that's okay. The first one I did was try to explain something I found annoying, that there was this endless debate about creationism versus evolution. Have you seen this debate? Are you curious about the debate? I'm not either. I felt they were wasting time. So I wrote a thing to explain it. You see, in my opinion, God created evolution. Right? We can all agree on that and move on, can't we? We can save some more time. So that's my little part of the world, to try to save the world wasting of effort. The one I did recently I kind of liked was I tried to explain politics. I don't know if you've noticed or not with Brexit and I guess Trump. Politics has become sort of an uglier word than it used to be. But if you understand the origins of these words, it makes more sense. You see, politics is of course a Greek word. It comes from poly, meaning many, and ticks, a blood-sucking parasite that spreads diseases. Politics. See, it makes sense if you think about it enough times. Now, the problem with these things is I pay a little bit too much attention, so I've been really, really, really worried recently that I'm becoming paranoid. Yeah, that's it. That's all that was. I thought it made some aspects of sense, but it doesn't always. The whole problem, though, is that it's exhausting, you know what I mean? Just wasting your energy on concerns, etc. And the problem is I'm actually an incredibly lazy person. I don't know if you can tell just by looking at me. I don't really put any effort into showing it, but I'm incredibly lazy. I'm kind of proud of it. And when I wrote that joke, I didn't put that much effort into it, but I thought, maybe it'd land. I was at least wrong on the landing part, but the effort, I was dead on. So. That's the whole problem, is when your worldview clashes with your own personal outlook on life. Like a friend of mine, he's a flat earther, but he's also a globalist. Yeah, it's not an easy thing, So I've been trying to become a better person wherever I can. A little while ago, I joined the Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, I thought it would open doors for me. Now it's even harder. Everybody's so standoffish. But I was actually in love once. Yeah. You just the once. For this bit. Yeah, appreciate the love. Twice now. But the first time we couldn't agree. We couldn't compromise. That's the most important thing. She insisted on the 50 euros, and I only had 35. But the thing is this, you have to take advice wherever you can find it. People know what they're talking about. Like a couple years ago, this guy told me that I should go fuck myself. Yeah, I was a little offended at first too, but I thought about it. Maybe he's got a point. I tried it out. He was right. Changed my whole life, I gotta tell you. So. Yeah, so I watched a lot of porno when I was a kid growing up, and one of my girlfriends, I told her that I had a BBC. She told me it was more of a TWP. I assumed she meant tremendous or, thick, but you never know. Some of these things work in small groups with the people like the joke, and if not, you just kind of move through it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing right now, moving through it. So I recently had a fight with my wife. Yeah, see, moved on. And I tried to make it up to her. I said to her, sweetie, honey, sweetie pie, because I forgot her name. Which is weird, because she taught me so many things, you know what I mean? She taught me how to be a minimalist. Well, since the divorce. So one of the questions I have is, when does a dry patch, turn into a sexual drought? Because I'm right in the middle of the desert right about now is the problem, you say. And it's a scary thought to think that maybe my sexuality has set sail without me, and now I'm headed out all alone, out across the celibacy. That's a joke. I decided to tell just for myself. So now I'm a sexual vegan. Well, it sounds better than celibate, doesn't it? So I really like the new things. I really like the Teslas. Any Tesla fans here? So the cool thing about a Tesla is you can jump right out in front of one of them. They'll stop automatically. The only problem is, they look almost exactly like a Toyota. A painful lesson to learn, let me just tell you that right now. So if I can give some advice, because that's one of the things I do with the channel, I try to give advice if I can. In this world of stress, you want to make sure that you maintain a proper work and life balance, And the most important lesson to learn is that you should never take your work home with you. And this applies doubly if you're a kindergarten teacher. Fool me once, you know what I'm saying? So, when you look at life, people have different opinions, Like, what I like to say is, when life gives you lemons, you should make lemonade. Assuming you've got a pitcher of water and some sugar, Now, I'm a Greek. I say if life gives you lemons, you make fish. There's nothing goes better on fish than lemons, But see, if you give that man a fish, he'll just eat for a day. Yet if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Because education is more helpful than charity. So, I say, if you teach a Greek man to fish, he'll be glad if life gives him lemons. Calls all them fish. And let me leave with one last tiny thing, which is a friend of mine, he just recently bought himself a dog, but the guy's a nihilist, and he names his dog Karma. But it's a male dog. So when people find out the dog's name, invariably they'll say, hey, Karma's a bitch. And he says, no, man, Karma's just a dog. You make your own reality. So my reality is, this is my first back in however many months. You guys are a great little audience. Thank you so much. My name is Socrates. Socrates is everything on YouTube. Thank you.